Make certain, right? Because prior to your departure, 3 days prior to departure, you have to go to another website in Seychelles tourism, and you have to apply for a travel authorization, and that's the time that you have to have your COVID PCR. Apparently, they said you can gain entry without COVID testing, but they do require that anyway, right? When you require a request for apply for a travel authorization, there is a section where you need to upload your authenticated negative RT-PCR result that has been taken, that is valid for 72 hours. Right. And then you will upload all your accommodation, your plane ticket, the copy of your passport, and if you have the vaccination, your vaccination information. In my case, a picture of the card from the CDC. But it doesn't matter. You gotta take the RT-PCR. So yeah, as I mentioned in my other video, so if you are planning a trip during, even now in the midst of pandemic, and they said they will honor your vaccination, make certain that the airline that you are flying with will know that, and they will allow you without the RT-PCR, right? Like for instance, Emirates, whether you are just landing for a connection in Dubai or visiting UAE, you gotta have the negative RT-PCR result that is within the 72-hour period. As a matter of fact, I was looking on the website because Emirates it's pretty good in sending you a reminder. I went to the website and I saw there are so many countries that, aside from the negative RT-PCR that you should have before boarding, upon arrival, if you are staying in Dubai or UAE, they will need to swab you. Actually, Philippines is included, and several nations in Europe as well. I think Malta is included, and a lot of nations in Asia, including India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal. So, if they're going, before they board the plane, they have to do this negative RT-PCR, and then upon arrival, they needed to be attested as well. If you are staying, in my case, I'm not staying, and I'm not coming from those nations. There are several, by the way. I'm alright. The only thing I needed is the negative RT-PCR, which I did this morning, and hopefully, I will receive the result tomorrow around 10ish. Right? It should be alright because my flight is. That's another one. See that? Yeah, kind of like sometimes it's culture. Yeah, I expect the result to be here by 10 in the morning. So my flight tomorrow with Emirates connecting in Dubai is at 9 in the evening, 9:30. So I'm here half day. I think I'm just gonna chill in the room, right? I think I'm done with all exploring Mahe. It's pretty small as a matter of fact. So there are several places to go, by the way. Yeah, it's several places. Unlike in Ladig. Ladig is very small, right? You can explore the island in one day or a day and a half. If you do it one thing at a time, and then you spread your attraction, you can enjoy it nicely in 4 days, which I did. But if you are crunching time, 2 days in Ladig, it's pretty good. As a matter of fact, there are some occasions that they only visit Ladig or Perlin in one day. They're coming from Mahe, and then they go to Ladig for a day and back to Mahe. In my case, I spread all the days, which is pretty good. I love it that way. So I take my time, absorb the culture, the vibes of the island, rather than in a rush. That's why I customized my itinerary. Alright? So I'm not in the mercy of the boss. I'm not in the mercy of the tour guide. As long as I know what to do and where to go. It's a lot of information out there. Used to be during my first year traveling, I signed up for a tour, but now if I can do it on my own, I do it on my own. Right? But there's some occasions that you gotta sign up for the tour. But you can't go there. You can't go there without, like for instance, trying to remember. Oh, in Vanuatu, and then going to that active volcano. I forgot the name. So I can't go there by my own. So I need to be with a guide. So I signed up for a day tour. Right? Yeah, it's a fascinating active volcano in Vanuatu. That was together with the trip to Australia. Because from Australia, I was there, and then I think 5 days in Vanuatu. Because the only way to get to Vanuatu is from Australia. So I was in Australia, spent several days there, visiting or explore Australia as well, the eastern side, and then flew to Vanuatu. So that's our bus. Less bus because it's Sunday, but on a regular day, Monday, I gotta see a bus. Buses everywhere, and then this could be busy, but not traffic though. The traffic is towards that direction because that's where the capital city is. Alright, and heading up to the airport. The airport here is about 7 kilometers. 7 kilometers. It's same kind of road. Look at that. Wonderful, isn't it? Anyway, so it's been fascinating. If you are thinking of a holiday, an island holiday in the Indian Ocean here in this part of Eastern Africa, I would highly recommend Seychelles. Also, you may consider Maldives as well. I was in Maldives in December, January this year. I love it, a different culture, different way of doing things. But comparatively speaking, when it comes to I would say the purity of the island, the cleanliness of the water, at least places that I've been to, Seychelles, right? Because I was in Maldives, and I went to just one inhabited island, Mahe. Pretty amazing island, I love it. Lots of tourists. That was in December, January. Apparently there is a section of the island. It can also actually small island as well. You can actually smaller than Lading. You can explore the island in one day. You can walk around the island in an hour, which I did multiple times. And on the other side of the island, oh God gracious, massive rubbish cage right in the ocean, right? Similar to Tuvalu, as well as in Kiribati, right? I understand that these nations are on the verge of the climate change, right? They're low-lying island nation, unlike this island, Seychelles. Seychelles is not low-lying island nation. They have mountains. Here we have the Mont Blanc, the highest peak, right? They have mountains and hills and rivers and falls. Yeah, but in Maldives, no mountains. That's why I think Maldives is one of the nations that are on the front line of this global climate change. That's why let's help them by doing our part. We can't feel the effect, Maybe we can, the rising, the increase in temperature, the changing of the climate, the microclimate or the macroclimate we have, but it's not really a big deal, right? In my opinion. But these nations like Kiribati, Tuvalu, Maldives, no, they don't even have, Bangladesh, for instance, right? There are islands and places in Bangladesh, they are always flooded, and soil erosion is a massive problem. And I think we need to rethink about our commitment, individual commitment. And it's a Sunday. Anyway, so here you can see the local life as well, right? Kind of like people watching. I like that. Kind of like a brown nosing, looking at how locals do it, right? Anyway, so back to my point a while ago. Yeah, Maldives is a beautiful island nation. Yeah, beautiful island nation. But the main concern of that nation, okay, particularly in the inhabited islands, are the rubbish. Even in Mahe, the capital city, sounds like Mahe, huh? Mahe is here, the island, and Malé is the capital city of Maldives. Right. Even in Mahe, yeah, you can see plastic containers everywhere because the water quality there, drinking water quality is up to par. That's why you see drink a plastic container practically everywhere. Here, the water here is WHO standard. I tested the water; it's even better than water at home. As a matter of fact, so let's do a little political in here. So one of the main project of the infrastructure project of President Biden is to clean up the pipes because there are many old pipes in the U.S. that are contaminated with lead, right? At home, when I test the water, I will not know the lead content, but the TDS, I do have this meter that I always bring with me. The total dissolved solid, more often than not, registered 300, 350, sometimes 400. That's a bummer. I will not gonna drink that. That's why I filter my water. Yeah, here the water is excellent. 100 TDS, even in those islands, right? That's why I don't buy bottled water here, and you don't see people buying bottled water here. Similar to Aruba. Yeah, I think Aruba has the best. So it's even better here, better in Aruba than here. So I tested the water there on a regular basis when I was there. It's less than 100, 50, 20 TDS. And in fact, in Aruba, you do not actually buy a bottled water. People don't even buy bottled water, so save money. Here, once in a while, I see people buying, but you don't need to. What I do is that I just drink from the top and I go in, right? Yeah, because it's better that way. So I don't need to worry about the plastics. Here, plastics is still a little bit of a concern, but I think they are now in transitioning. When you buy produce, they put it in a plastic bag. That's why I recycle those plastics. Okay, and but when you go to the grocery, they provide you a cloth kind of type of bag that you can reuse, which I do, and they are brightly colored, pretty neat. In fact, I now have several collections of that. I'm taking with me. Alright. Anyway, it's been quite a long stories. Once again, when you travel, you have lots and lots of stories to share, I would say. How much time do you have? Yes, I'm here lounging here at the veranda of the apartment that I'm staying. This is my second time in this apartment in Mahe. Kind of busy. Yes, my first 4 days here on the island is here. It's called Michelle. It's pretty amazing apartment. It's self-catering, so I even have my clothes being dried. And let's take a quick peek once again. Yeah, there we go. Massive apartment, right? Yeah, so the Wi-Fi is pretty good, right? I like the openness of this facility. There's no wall. Yeah, you got your bar, got your kitchen, got the room, a table, and actually I moved the. I was here, if I'm exercising, and there's a tele, and there is an AC. Right, the AC is on. But normally, right now, we're gonna shut it off because especially now, it tends to be cool at night, right? But during my first 4 days when I arrived here on the 12th, it's really quite hot. So I need to close the drapes because actually I think the sunrise is here. We're facing the east because I saw the sunrise this morning. But but when it is around 11, we have all the heat of the sun coming through. That's why this become kind of like a greenhouse. Anyway, I like massiveness of the apartment, the openness of the room, and the clarity of the white wall. Yeah, I like the white, and pretty amazing. The water is excellent. Everything I need is here. In fact, I did cook last night. Actually, I did cook last night. I made masala noodle. Yeah. Of course, it's vegetarian. And food-wise, I make my own food, right? Kind of like living like local. So what I did is that there's oh my god, the produce are really fresh and they are organically grown. There are in the markets, fruits are fresh, veggies are really crisp, and there are several small markets on the island everywhere you go. And like for instance, going to the Eden Island, there is a nicely constructed stalls for vendors, organically grown, and these are artisans, right? And I was looking for a malunggay, because I came across a lady on my way to the jetty in Kralin. She was carrying a bunch of moringa. I love moringa. The malunggay, we call it malunggay. And then I thought of making a soup with malunggay, superfood. And I went to the local market, and I asked after the PCR. He knows it, by the way. So for me to make certain that I'm telling him what I want, I searched a photo online. So I show. He said it's a curry leaf. They call it the curry leaves. Yeah, and then he told me we're not selling it. You can actually find it everywhere. In fact, I saw on my way back here from Victoria, I saw there were several malunggay trees there. But the thing is pretty hard. I can't reach. And also here, it's not a regulation, but it is being polite. You don't just grab from someone else's tree, right? You gotta ask permission. Because one thing is that if I saw the owner, then I could have asked to get some malunggay leaves or moringa, and I want it for my soup. Back in time in the Philippines, we had this malunggay tree, and we just ignore it. But now moringa is one of the superfoods, right? The leaves and the fruit as well, right? Anyway, so I'll be able to see it hopefully tomorrow if I decide to walk on. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The flowers now drying. So each time you check in and they have the flowers. So this will smells good before. It could be gumamela, and I don't know the name of the flower. Anyway, so it's been my stories has been long now. It's a 41 minutes. So I'm just going to chill tonight and pack my stuff and get ready for my flight tomorrow. And I should receive the PCR testing around 10ish tomorrow. Look at the nice weather. Yes, look at the lovely day. So that's that body of water continues to the Indian Ocean. And that is part of the... See all those red roofs? Those are apartments, flats, and establishments in the Eden Island. It's an artificial island that was constructed. I think I mentioned it already back in the 2000 by United Arab Emirates. I think they're French. They're friends, I would say. Yeah, look at that. I am at the second level. Alright. So bye for now. I'm drinking not a good drink in here. I kind of fancy zero. I've been doing drinking fruit juices here, but I was at the grocery, kind of like I fancy kind of like a carbonated beverage, and I asked for a zero cup. I got a zero cup. Alright, once in a while. Bye bye for now. Hopefully everyone is doing well. So I'll be arriving to California on the 29th, and then I'll be there for about 14 days, and then I believe on the 14th I'll be flying to Tbilisi, which is the capital city of the country Georgia in the Caucasus. Caucasus, in fact, I learned about it when I started traveling, particularly when I went to Armenia. Caucasus is a part of the... Actually, if you look at the world map, you will see that Caucasus, if it is a detailed map, right? Caucasus is some sets of nations that are in between Asia and Europe, and that includes Georgia, and Azerbaijan, and Turkey, and Armenia. Right? Let me give you an example. I've been to Turkey. So in Turkey there is a Bosphorus River, massive river. This Bosphorus River divides or separates the Turkey into two. One side is Asia, the Asian side of Turkey, and the other side is the European side of Turkey. So there's a bridge. So you can have a brekkie in the Asian side of Turkey and cross the bridge to have your dinner in the European side of Turkey. That's why kind of Turkey, depending on who you are talking to, all right, and their own identity. So whether it's Turkey in Asia or in Europe, depending on who you are talking to. But basically, it's called Caucasus. Georgia is in Caucasus. Yes, that is say it's kind of like a blending of Asian and European land. All right. So that's Caucasus, which is different from Iceland. Iceland geographically, because they are in two tectonic plates, right? The North American plate and the European plate. So they are in between, right? Again, depending on who you are talking to. But politically speaking, Iceland is Europe. But geologically speaking, is in between, because you got the North American side, the European side, because of this tectonic plates. So much for science communication, right? Yeah. Anyway, yes, I will be flying to Georgia. Finally, I've been wanting and wishing and dreaming of going to Georgia. Now it's happening. Same process, RT-PCR needed. I think mask mandate there is a little bit looser than there. Here you have to wear your mask all the time, right? All the time. So that's why sometimes I pretend to be eating, so I have an excuse of wearing a mask, right? Yeah, because there's cops everywhere here, so they're almost everywhere. The small island, that's why they can cruise the island in a nick of a time, and there's always a signage to wear mask. There is a fine of 1,000 Seychelles rupee if you're not wearing masks. Right? That's why people here, for the most part, they have their mask. Once in a while, you see where people protecting their chin, right? Or no mask at all. But I don't have the mask. Yeah, because 1,000 rupees is 1,000 rupees. It's pretty large amount of money if you're here in Seychelles, right? 1 USD is about 16 rupees, and you can get quite a lot in 16 rupees here. So especially if you go to the local store. Alright, bread here that may cost you, let's say that may cost you $3-4 in the US. It costs you like around 80 cents. Let me show you an example. Yeah, I went to the grocery yesterday. Yeah, I was impressed. It's a really massive bread. I put it in the fridge. Yeah. So this bread, this was a fresh. Where is it? Right in the kitchen. Yeah, this is the most common store, the STC, right? And this one, fresh from the oven. Yes. So this will cost you 13. That's 13 Seychelles rupee. This is a pretty good bread, you know, not the store brand that you can buy from Lucky or Safeway, which is even pricey, as a matter of fact. This is thick and heavy, and this costs 13 Seychelles rupee, and that is under $1. All right, but in the back home, this may cost you maybe $3-4. Yeah. It's expensive. Well, here in Seychelles tend to be on the expensive side or on the cheaper side, depending on how you do things, right? Yeah. If you go local, just like what I'm doing, yeah, it's like that. You can spend the rest of your of moolah you have for other things, right? Yes, it's pretty good. In fact, let me show you another one. Let's say this cracker. This is from United Arab Emirates. You know how much is this? This is only 4 Seychelles rupees, right? Actually, on the island or in Ladig, it's 4. Here is a bit cheaper because it's the mainland. Normally, the mainland is cheaper, right? This is 3 rupees. I love this one. They have a different flavor, and it's nicely made, right? Nicely wrapped, and it's important. From United Arab Emirates, it's 4 rupees. In Ladig, a little bit pricey there. Here is 3 rupees. 1 USD is 15 rupees. There you go. It's even less than under 25 cents, right? Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, so it's good to nibble, especially if you want to cut down your hunger, right? Yeah, it could be not harming like it, depending on what you do. Anyway, it's a sign of satisfaction, right? I love Seychelles, and I'm glad I made a decision to visit Seychelles. Seychelles, a place to go. Please go, alright? If you can, Seychelles, a wonderful nation. They depend on tourism. COVID-wise, it's manageable. Alright, so they do have some infection, of course, in other nations as well, but they are the first nation who have the most population that is vaccinated. Right? Yeah, together with Mauritius. Apparently, we have this new variant. Now we have to live with it, right? We have to live. That's why vaccination is highly encouraged. I know there are some people who fancy not doing it because of whatever reason you have. But for us to save the entire globe and to prevent the spread of this virus, right? Even more, particularly the small nations. Let's go there. Let's get vaccinated if we decide to do so, right? Yeah, so I was vaccinated. There were some side effects, but hey, I'm no better, right? Although we have this Delta variant, according to science, so if you are vaccinated, you can get infected, but not that on the severe side. Kind of like you have your extra line of defense. Yeah, that's my take on that. So get vaccinated if you decide to do so. Right now, vaccination is now becoming a little bit more accessible. Like many nations, like United States, European nations, have been donating vaccines to many countries that do not have a lot of access, which is pretty good. because the only way we can solve, or at least enable us to live in a normal manner, although we have this virus lingering around, is when we flatten the curve globally. Just like the 1918 pandemic, right? The flu pandemic in 1918. This is the regular, they said this is not the regular flu that we have, we're living with it. The only thing is that this COVID-19 is more fatal than the regular flu. Anyway, once again, I'm here, final day in Seychelles, an island Asian destination here in Africa, Eastern Africa, close to Madagascar, Maldives, Comoros Island. Oops, the map is flying. I got the map right there. It's kind of windy. And Maldives, southwest, Madagascar on the eastern side, Mauritius, about 2 hours flight from here. I think it's in the northeast. A lot of Mauritians here, right? Because they're very close. Yeah, I'm thinking of going to Mauritius sometime. Right, when they open, fully open. They'll be fully open by December. Alright, you can explore the island, not the resort. Alright, bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the day. Once again, traveling is not arriving to a new destination. It is looking at the world in a different perspective. Keep a smile and the world with a smile at you. Cheers. Be safe. Bye. And God bless everybody.